Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to my new video. Today I'm going to be talking about if Forza Horizon 4 is still active in 2026. Now, just to let you know, this game is crossplay between PC and Xbox, so if you play throughout these platforms, you could play with each other, and it does not matter if you play on Xbox One or Series X. It's always crossplay, which is a pretty good thing, and I'm going to be talking about these game modes that are on the screen right now, so yeah. These are the game modes going to be talking about, which are still active in 2026. But as always, we're going to get started. So, one of the first things that you're going to notice is whenever you're going to launch the game, you're always going to have this Horizon Live. Even if you're not trying to play online, you're always going to have it when you're just even out in free roam mode. So, that is one way you could see players all around the map. So, and it's pretty active for the most part. And whenever I play online, I'll be honest, a lot of these game modes are still very active, and this game is still very healthy. Now, some of the most active game modes I found on the online playlist were definitely the team racing mode and the free for all racing modes. Now, these game modes are pretty active still. Now, why test that a lot throughout the weekday? I found lobbies, but they were never really full lobbies. They're usually like 6 to 9 players usually, and usually they're still pretty fun, and you could still find a good amount of people. And what's interesting is there's a lot of mics in these lobbies, but overall, these are the most active game modes that are still active in this game. Now, moving on to the game modes that are kind of active and kind of are dying or already dying. So, one of these game modes is Playground Games. Now, for a while, this was kind of a dead game mode, but surprisingly, I managed to find a game not using through the playlist, because if you play through the playlist, that is basically dead nowadays. But there's another method you could play this, or it is such as this playgrounds games. You could use this throughout the races or this throughout the map. So you could just go to any of these to any map, and you could just start matchmaking, and you could use for any of these. It doesn't matter what event it is, and you could just start matchmaking. It'll let the players who are your Horizon Live session know that you're hosting, and you could join them, which is honestly a pretty cool feature. And Forza Horizon 5 doesn't have that, which I wish it did, but that is one thing I do like about this game. And you could do that with races also, but they're usually not too active. I mean, some of them are like drag strips and like the most common races, but anything else, it's not too common. And another game mode that I noticed was dying recently is the Eliminator mode. This was a big thing when it came out, and it used to be pretty populated a few years ago. Nowadays, in 2026, if you hop into this game mode, it's usually pretty much dead. Like, I usually see from like 5 to 15 people usually playing this game mode, which is not very good, which means there's a huge drop of players who play this game mode. And it's sad to see that this game mode is pretty much dead. And all the other game modes I tried finding were still pretty active, but there was a few that are pretty much dead. Like Open Drift Adventure, I tested that was dead. And I haven't tested ranked match because I don't have enough experience to play that. So yeah, but I think it's active because racing modes are still very active in this game. But overall, that is how this game is doing in 2026. Overall, it's still very active. You could still find a lot of lobbies, which is a pretty good thing. And it's still active. You could still hop in online, and you could still find lobbies. Now, keep in mind, not be perfect, but you might find loading times and stuff like that, bugs and glitches. But besides that, it's still very fun online. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this game in the comments down below. Do you still play this game? But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Until next time, peace out, guys.